Hello, this video forms part of a series of videos that will help you to identify which relationships poems engage with different types of relationship, romantic, family relationships or friendships. Now, am I doing this just to give me voice box a workout, just to give this battered old puss a bit more airtime? Of course I'm not. I'm doing it because it'll give you an invaluable overview of how different poems, different poets perceive different relationships. And once we've done that, we'll consider links between these poems in the comparative spirit of the exam question. Finally, we'll marry together some of these ideas into barnstorming, gold standard level 9 exam paragraphs. So let's get on. If you don't know the house style, the basic layout of the anthology poetry question, well, it's going to look a lot like this. You've got two blanks where you're going to put the named poem, the stuff in red, and in green there, that's where the examiner is going to place the idea or theme that he wants you to focus on. And of course, this is squad rotation. They're going to change those two things each year. Our video today is going to address the theme of family relationships. So, any poems about dating or boyfriends and girlfriends and pals, we're not interested at present. We're going to fix our attention on the relationships poems that depict interactions and feelings between relatives. Sons, daughters, grandsons, husbands, wives, that kind of thing. Now, in general terms, to put it on a bumper sticker, as my old dad would say, family in these poems seems to be a deep source of tension. It's seldom depicted as an out-and-out chuckle-a-thon. We'll flip through now then all the relationships poems that explore family life. And at the end, we'll identify links and connections between them. But we'll kick off with A Child to His Sick Grandfather, which explores the loving bond between a boy and his granddad that's overshadowed by the prospect, the grim spectre of the granddad's death. Now, the old boy is a real father figure to the lad, and the child's grief and fears are very vividly depicted. And I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that it's not a flurry of fun times watching a grandparent edge towards the grave. In Scannell's Nettles, you see a boy fall into a patch of nettles, and his dad responds with a mixture of fear and rage. He takes a blade to those weeds, metal to the nettle, you might say, in a desperate, futile bid to avenge his son. Now, it's a measure of the narrator's love for his son that he responds so furiously. He realises, doesn't he, at the end of this poem, he can't protect the child from all the pain and woe that the world likes to dish out from time to time. Ingrid de Kock wrote this poem, and I'm a big fan of this lassie. De Kock rocks, as far as I'm concerned. And there's a beautifully shaped sense of uncertainty in this poem about a relationship with her father, who's recently died. Why did the dad not share with his children his feelings, his experiences about dying? Was it a symptom of their distant relationship, his distant cold attitude? Or was it a more selfless, altruistic motive on behalf of the old boy? Was he trying to protect the people that he loved? So far, we've defined family as bonds of blood. We're going to look at marriages now, bonds of love that foster a family. And in My Last Duchess, you've got no chance of domestic contentment. That's been atomised, that's been destroyed by the Duke's arrogant, controlling nature. That's the death knell for family life. He doesn't want a wife, this guy, does he? He wants a blinking computer, someone who'll blindly follow instructions. In fact, I reckon he'd be better off with an Alexa or a Siri than a real woman. This is a Johnny who expects total worship from his wife, 365 adoration. But the wife is an independent spirit, she's got a vibrancy to her, and this poem infers that the Duke takes a murderous course of action to correct this. In Jennings's One Flesh, family life sounds like a right tension convention, a right hostility facility. It's an oft-told tale. A marriage fizzles out under the eye of the couple's kid, the narrator. There's two bodies in this marriage, but there's no love, and the family unit frays over time as love goes down the gurgler. Last poem now that addresses the theme of family, Thank the Stars. A husband and wife's bond in this poem is threatened by the guy's PTSD, the psychological problems that he experiences born of his wartime experiences. There's a lovely image of a bomb, a mine in the man's head, and that's a very powerful metaphor for the dangerously severe mental health issues that are compromising the family unit. So, you've had a few ideas chucked at you that marry up the theme of family with poems from the relationships anthology. Now, if you're anything like my students, you like a bit of practice to go with your theory. You want to get a good grasp of what this stuff looks like when it's served up in exam paragraphs of level 8 to 9 quality. So, roll your retinas over these next few slides. Model paragraphs, examiner candy to hit the highest marks. Now, I've produced other videos where I explain how to write like this. Just for now, just be content with the labels and the colour coding that I've applied here in the colour of the writing. There's comparisons here, there's deeper analysis, there's relevant context, and it's all, of course, responding to that question on family relationships. Have a good go up. There's the comparative paragraph connecting Bailey's poem with de Kock's, and again, striving for deeper linguistic analysis, both those paragraphs addressing language techniques. If you're still with me, I assure you, we're a kick up the bum off done. Here we've got the next two slides looking at structural and formal analysis, linking Scannell's Nettles with Bailey's A Child Too. Again, it's in relation to that question on the family unit, or family life, and this is looking at Scannell's use of enjambment. And this paragraph links Scannell's employment of enjambment to Bailey's use of fixed rhyme scheme, those rhyming couplets that she rolls out. Have a quick squint at this pocket of perfection, this cornucopia of class. And that's enough of my guff. We've looked at how some of these relationships poems present the idea of family and the anxieties, the frustrations, the feelings that can shape or underpin these bonds of blood and marriage. In fact, for my money, almost all of these poems seem to suggest that relations yield great frustrations, and that even if your feelings for a family member are characterised by deep love, that doesn't necessarily create a sense of contentment. And on that jolly note, it's time to leave you good people to your day. I'll say my goodbyes and wish you the very best of luck in that exam hall.